Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Diana Fatim Jeffrey. My ID number is 2025184869. Today I would like to present my qualitative research titled Finding Their Voice, a study on ESL students' challenges in English oral presentations. This study explores the types of challenges ESL students face when delivering presentations in English and also the strategies they use to overcome them. I will begin with an introduction. Firstly, oral presentations in English have become an important and common part of academic assessment in universities. Students are often expected to present confidently and clearly, but for ESL students, this task can be particularly challenging. They not only need to understand the content but also need to deliver in a language that is not their first. This requires them to manage multiple aspects at once, such as language use, confidence, pronunciation, and audience interaction. Furthermore, many ESL students they struggle with the stage fright, low confidence, and also language barriers, which makes the oral presentation can be a stressful experience. Therefore, this study aims to understand those challenges from the perspective of the students themselves, and also to explore how they manage and also overcome them. Okay, moving on to the problem statement. Based on the previous study, it is clear that ESL students they commonly face several challenges when presenting it in English. These include grammatical errors, word retrieval issues, and difficulties with fluency. Even if the students fully understand the topic, but they often cannot express their ideas fluently due to the language limitations. Many they rely on memorized speech or hesitate often, especially when they need to present it in formal or high-stakes settings like academic evaluations. This hesitation is not just caused by language problems, but also by anxiety, fear of making mistakes, and also worry about being judged by the audience and also lecturers. These findings really show that ESL students are not only affected by linguistic challenges, but they also by emotional and psychological pressures during oral presentations. Moving on, theoretical framework. This study is based on the Communicative Competence Framework by Cannell and Swain, 1980, which provides a comprehensive way to understand the language used in real-world contexts. According to this model, communicative competence consists of four components. The first one, linguistic competence, which refers to vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. The second one, sociolinguistics competence, which is about speaking appropriately depending on the audience and context. The third one, discourse competence, which involves organizing ideas clearly and also logically in longer speech. The last one, strategic competence, refers to the ability to use the strategies such as the paraphrasing and also using gestures to manage the communication breakdowns. This model really help guide my analysis by allowing me to look at the students' experiences from multiple angles, not just focusing on the grammar side but also on how they adapt and perform in the real-time speaking situations. Moving on, the purpose of my research was guided by two main objectives. First, to investigate the types of challenges that ESL students face when giving oral presentations in English. The second one, to identify the ways in which they overcome those challenges. Okay, next, methodology. For this research, I used a qualitative research design because this study wanted to understand the students' real experiences in depth. This research conducted a semi-structured interview with three ESL students who came from different academic backgrounds. One from English studies, another from psychology, and the third one from culinary arts. All of them had experience delivering formal oral presentations in English. Next, this study used purposive sampling since they want to select the participants who could give detailed and the relevant information. The interviews were conducted via Zoom and lasted between 20 and 25 minutes. Each interview was recorded, transcribed, and analyzed using thematic analysis with the help of Envivo 14 software, which it allow the researcher to identify the repeated patterns and also themes in the students' responses that directly answered the research objective. Next one is findings. Findings for the challenges for the research objective one. The challenges. There are five themes that can need to be discussed in here. The first one is language limitation. All of the three respondents, they acknowledge that grammar and vocabulary pose challenges but with different degrees of impact. Okay, for example, that I can give is respondent 2. She mentioned that the aspect that is more challenging for me is grammar. I'm still unsure about when to use has, have, and had properly. Meanwhile, for the respondent 3, shared, sometimes I want to say something but I can find the exact word I'm looking for. This shows that even if the students understand the topic, they often struggle to express it due to the vocabulary retrieval and also the grammatical uncertainty. The second one is communication breakdown. Two respondents, they describe their moments when their ideas were misunderstood due to unclear language use. For example, respondent 1, I used the term accusation incorrectly. I couldn't give a proper explanation and it was kind of embarrassing. These moments highlight the difficulty of using precise academic language under pressure, which can lead to loss of confidence. The third one, fluency and pronunciation. All respondents, they reflected on the fluency and pronunciation issues. For example, I can give when respondent 2 link her fluency challenges to lack of practice. I don't have many friends who are interested in having daily conversation in English here. It makes it hard to practice speaking naturally. This theme shows how fear of mispronunciation and lack of daily practice can disrupt the speech flow and also affect the confidence. The fourth one is emotional impact. Each respondent, they express some form of nervousness or hesitation while presenting. Just like respondent 3 shared her coping style. If I blank out, I just immediately talk about something related to the topic until I remember. And also respondent 2 stated I start overthinking things and somehow lose focus. I worried that the audience wouldn't understand me or that I would be judged. These quotes by the respondent reveal how the anxiety can affect memory, fluency, and also the overall delivery during presentations. The last one is audience perception and self-image. Okay, for this one, students' perceptions of how they were being judged, it's play a key role in their confidence levels. Just like respondent 1 said, I could see my classmates and lecturers' faces. They were like, what is she trying to say? And that made me very nervous. Respondent 2 added, they might think that I don't know well to speak English even though I took English in communication. Okay, for this one, meanwhile, for the respondent 3, had a slightly more positive view. Most of the time, my lecturers and classmates understood what I'm trying to say. I think they can tell I'm confident even I'm not using perfect English. This shows that how the perception can affect the speaker's emotional response and overall self-image during presentations. The second one is findings for the research objective 2. For the strategies, there are also 5 key strategies across the responses of all 3 participants. The first one is presentation preparation. All of the 3 respondents, they emphasize the importance of preparing before their presentation. Okay, for example, that I can give respondent 1 shared, I practice answering potential questions and train myself to pause and think instead of stuttering. I also work on eye contact, hand gesture, and tone variation. Respondent 3, I'll practice a few times on my own, either in front of the mirror or I'll just talk to myself. It helps me get more familiar with the words I want to use. These responses show that the rehearsal can help the students reduce nervousness, improve fluency, and build the familiarity with the content, also the language of their presentation. The second one is simplification and adaptation. Students, they reported that simplifying their language and rephrase their sentence, they can avoid errors and also can maintain the fluency. Respondent 1 explained, to improve my grammar, I will always keep my sentence clear and simple. I don't try to sound too fancy because that's when I make more mistakes. This shows that the students, they use the real-time language adaptation and also the simplification to maintain control over their delivery, and even when they face the difficulties. The third one is support systems. Okay, for this one, the respondents, they also credited peer and also lecturer support as valuable in helping them prepare and also to feel more confident. Because just like respondent one said, I have asked lecturers for feedback. Some give helpful tips like slowing down or improve my transitions. Respondent 3 and 2 also shared, my friends helped me get back on my track, and my friends and I help each other out. We ask how to say things and support one another. These quotes really show that collaborative learning and emotional support from peers and educators can make a big difference in managing anxiety and also can improve the presentation quality. The fourth one is use of digital tools. All of the respondents, they use digital platform to enhance their language use and also their confidence. Just like all of the respondents said, mostly I use Grammarly to check grammar and sentence clarity. I also watch YouTube videos to see how the experienced speakers deliver their message. I use online tool just for pronunciation. I use dictionaries when I'm sure about a word. This kind of responses really show that the students actively use technology to support their self-correction and also build stronger communication habits. The last one is self-improvement. This one, the students talk about their efforts to improve in the oral communication skills over the long term, because they stated that by practicing it can improve their delivery skills, and they also express that their goal, like they want to probably join a public speaking club or work with a coach to improve pronunciation. Respondent 2 also said they want to make English as part of my daily conversation with friends. And just like respondent 3, I want to make more friends from outside of Malaysia and have regular conversation in English. These statements really show how a strong sense of personal responsibility and also the motivation is big among the students, and they are aware that consistent and also the real world language use can help them become more fluent and confident over time. Now, I will discuss how the findings from my study relate to the previous study research, and also covering both the challenges ESL students face and also the strategies they use to overcome them. Now, we will start with the first discussion. Firstly, many students in this study, they struggle with vocabulary and grammar, especially during spontaneous speaking. So, it really supports studies from Graham et al. In the year of 2021, and also Lai and Wang in the year of 2024, who found that limited vocabulary and grammar mistakes can often reduce fluency and confidence. However, in my findings, the vocabulary recall seemed to be a bigger problem than grammar, especially under pressure. Another challenges was mentioned by the respondent is miscommunication or using the wrong words. Some students, they use academic terms incorrectly and couldn't explain them well. So it really reflects the discourse competence as mentioned by Kernel and Swine, and also matches findings from Ting et al. In the year of 2013, who said that poor idea organization can lead to confusion during speaking. All of the students mentioned about they have issues with the fluency and pronunciation, because they were afraid of mispronouncing certain words, which can make them pause or speak too carefully. This one can relate to the what Domingo says in the year of 2021. Also, Palm et al. Found that they fear of mispronunciation can often lead to students to memorize their speech and speak less naturally because they just reading from the text. Next one is the emotional side, also very clear in my study. Students said that they always felt nervous, lost focus, and also they overthought that their grammar while presenting. This supports research. This supports research by Muhammad Fadli Shah et al. And so Kufanch et al., who found that many Malaysian ESL students, they feel high anxiety when speaking English in front of others, because of what of the expectation of the audience. Finally, students were very aware of the audience reaction, because one student, they said that they become more nervous when she saw confused faces. This one can be related to sociolinguistic competence, and also support Aziz et al., who explained that fear of judgment can make the students more anxious and feel less confident. Next one is strategies. Despite those challenges, the student these are discussion for the challenges. Okay, they stated the respondent they stated that they rehearsal in front of mirrors and friends. So this supports Kaiser et al., who said that practice and preparation can help reduce anxiety and improve the delivery. Students also use simpler language and rephrase ideas when they forgot certain words. And really relate to the previous study by Chile, who found that simplified language can help the student be more fluent even when they feel stuck. My respondent also they also rely on support from friends and lecturers because friends can give helpful feedback, and it really supports Christina's research, who showed that peer support can reduce anxiety and boost confidence. In addition, the digital tools like Grammarly, YouTube, and online dictionaries can help with grammar pronunciation and also building fluency. Studies by Cha et al. And Hamada 2024 also show that using technology is very effective for ESL learners, especially when they are practicing alone. The last one, students showed strong of motivation to improve over time, self-improvement. This one, some said that they wanted to join a public speaking club, speak English more often in daily life. So it matches with Kang 2024 and Zhang et al., who found that long-term speaking practice can lead to better fluency and confidence. Okay, moving on to the recommendations. Based on the findings of the study, this study would like to offer several recommendations that may benefit both ESL students and lecturers who support them. First, for ESL students, it is highly recommended that they rehearse their presentations multiple times before the actual day, like practicing in front of a mirror, recording themselves, or presenting to friends, because it can help build the fluency and reduce nervousness. The second one is they need to focus on using simple and clear language instead of trying to use advanced vocabulary, because it can increase the chances of making mistakes. The third one is use of digital tools like Grammarly, YouTube videos, pronunciation apps, because it can help to improve their grammar, sentence structure, delivery. Furthermore, students are encouraged to incorporate English to their daily lives, because with friends, if they are engaged in conversation, it can help them become more comfortable and spontaneous in using the language. Secondly, for the lecturers or educators, it is important to provide the students with more frequent opportunities to practice oral presentations in low-pressure settings. This can include informal presentations, small group discussion, or even peer review sessions. The lecturer also need to give constructive and also supportive feedback, not only on the language accuracy, but also on the delivery style and also confidence. And the lecturer need to create a safe and also supportive classroom environment, because it's very important, because when the students feel encouraged, they are more likely to take risks. They're more likely to improve their speaking skills. Finally, the lecturers need to encourage some collaborative learning by allowing the students to practice with peers before the formal presentation. This can help build the teamwork and also reduce the anxiety and promote peer-to-peer learning. In summary, I would say that to conclude, the study found that ESL students face a range of challenges when delivering oral presentation in English, and these challenges include language use like language issues like grammar and vocabulary, but also emotional challenges such as anxiety. However, the students also showed resilience by using several strategies to improve their performance. They prepared well, adapted their speech, and also committed to long-term improvement. This research emphasized that effective oral communication requires more than just language knowledge. It also needs emotional readiness, strategic thinking, and practice. Therefore, it is essential for both educators and students to work together in building the supportive environment that encourages improvement and also confidence. That's all from me. Thank you so much for listening.